We have a bride who disappeared, then reappeared a week before her wedding, and now the florist is confused. Let's see how this one plays out. I own my own flower shop, and a potential bride touched base with me around June about getting a custom package together for her October wedding. We had a site meeting at a venue I work closely with her planner, and I sent over a proposal. Well, the bride only responded back a few days later saying that I didn't fit into her budget. Okay, and? Flowers are expensive. Flowers are perishable, and I'm an in-demand florist. I live in a tourist hub. Yeah, I know, code is on my mind every day, but bills have to get paid. And I have been slammed since we opened back up Mother's Day weekend. And I mean 2 to 3 brides every other weekend, which is insane for being mid-pandemic. Anyway, so she didn't respond even after I followed up to clarify my initial pricing guidelines based on the fact that at the time she had no color scheme, no flowers picked out, not even the faintest idea of what she wanted or was planning for. This is a $20,000 wedding. It's crickets until the end of July. Okay, cool. She called then, asking if I was still keeping her in mind. I honestly hadn't. I asked her if she had thought about my proposal anymore, or if she had finalized anything so that we could start planning. She took a deep breath and said she will get back to me. I told her I was booking up and that she needed to sit down with her planner, who I hadn't talked to since the meeting in June, and figured out what we were doing. I get wedding planning is chaos and that COVID has put a monkey wrench in all things, so I wait. More crickets until mid-August, when I send out an obligatory email checking in, asking if there's any info or if I could assist in pushing her along to getting things actually on my board and in my account because I don't order until I'm paid. More crickets. So I go along, making flower dreams come true as I do, and this cow calls me on the Saturday past, 7 days before her event, and asks me if everything is ready. Ma'am, I do not work for you until I am paid, full stop. At this point, I had figured she'd booked the other florist in town. No biggie. He does beautiful work, almost as good as mine. I hadn't planned anything, ordered anything, or put any further thought into it. I spoke to my venue contact a while back through other projects, and he said he hadn't been able to get any clear direction from her and wasn't going to push it. Maybe someone's gotten sick. Maybe the relationship is over. Who knows? And who cares? I'm just the florist. At this point, there's no payment, no contract, no direction whatsoever. So I go into full HBIC mode to keep good relationships with the venue, with the bride, and to get a chance to do some stellar work. I tell her to email me because now I want full records, beyond what I already keep, documenting every bit of info we exchange because I know she's an oncoming storm. She refuses. Doesn't matter because I'm out of the office until Tuesday, September 29th, for personal reasons. I email her again to tell her to send me the info and CC the wedding planner. So she calls again the next day, Sunday. I'm still out of office. I email her again and tell her I'm not going into town from my mountain hideaway because this is her problem, not mine. She finally sends the email. Pretty much the same non-information I started with, except now they've added more flowers. Fine, she will pay. Oh yes, she will pay dearly. I write up the quote and charge her for the rush order because I have to. Had she responded any time before September, we would have had every financial break they were pushing for wedding season at our feet. And I always pass my savings along because it's good for business to have happy clients come back even when the cost of flowers goes up. The planner finally emails me. She's had my info since the jump, but only to send the timeline. I sent her an email to communicate the current state of things, including the fact that they are now over budget for me for what I had to quote, and I need to be paid tomorrow, no exceptions. It's now 10:30 p.m. on Monday night, and I'm pretty sure is going to hit the fan tomorrow. I'm excited though. I'm finally financially stable enough to tell people to off professionally, of course. Any other florists here who have been ghosted but the bride still thinks there's flowers on the way? And if y'all think I should have done it or said more in the lead up to this or what? Update. The mother of all shows. Wow. Was not expecting my previous post to blow up half as much as it did. Thank y'all for being kind, funny, and just as ready for this show as I was this morning. Alright, now to the good part. Zoom meeting starts at 10 a.m., so I'm ready by 8 a.m. in my best war paint with my coffee visibly steaming in a way I only wish I could. I woke up to a stream of emails this morning that the bride and planner had sent trying to figure out who dropped the ball. As expected. I do not reply, but go through these emails with all of the receipts these two have sent between them since June when I became involved. At no point after our meeting do either of them mention the flowers in exactly 7 emails between them. How the actual fuck do you plan any major event with just 7 emails? I usually average about 20 to 30 emails with my brides, and I just do the flowers, so I already know this is going to be a mess. They've CC'd everyone involved: the venue, the caterer, the photographer, and the band. Sweet Jesus. I call my venue contact prior to this meeting, and he simply asks, "What the?" I ask him if he saw any mention of me at any point past June in these emails, or if they had even mentioned anything in their communication with him. The silence is telling for the moment before we just both lose our laughing, and he sighs like it hurts. I'm told to be easy on her so she doesn't cancel everything. I make no promises. 9:07 a.m. rolls around, and the other town florist calls me out of breath laughing after I sent him a bolo the night before about these 2 idiots, and he tells me the planner called him as soon as he was open to ask about his availability for this weekend. The other florist straight up tells her he's already talked to me, and even if he was available, he's not getting into the mess she's caused. Apparently, she's gotten married again recently, and he didn't know her new name, but she hadn't changed her caller ID. He has a history with her, and apparently, obviously, she's a planner. He tells me to have fun because I'm neck deep shit now. Now, I'm fuming. Not for myself as much, but for this bride. For her emails, she seems to think that everything was on track, and that all she had to do was say yay or nay and have her future husband sign the checks. I made a few quick calls to some other vendors because I need every bit of ammunition for this one. Now it's 10 a.m., and I start the meeting. We're all sitting there, exchanging good mornings. Bride looks tired and stressed. Planner looks anxious, and my RBF is in full form. I'm not even going to play today. Everyone seems to wait for the person to speak, so I take a sip of coffee, straighten up in my chair, and fold my hands in front of me on my desk before asking if the proposal has been approved. The planner says that while my ideas are in line with what vision she has put together for the bride, she doesn't think that the rush fee, the overtime fee, and the setup fee are fair. She says, "I've known about the wedding since June and should have been prepared, that her client should not be penalized for my oversight." Oh, no. I chuckle with my tongue between my teeth before I tell her flatly that it is not negotiable and ask the bride if she has any alternate arrangements. She says no, and that she thought this was taken care of after she communicated to the planner about my email in August, and just asked her to take care of it within the next week or 2. And she apologizes for being caught off guard and frantic because her future husband dropped the check off to the planner the 1st of September for me after she thought it had been taken care of. I tell her I believe her, and ask her if she'd like me to handle the issue once and for all with the planner, as this planner starts losing her and saying she only got the check for the band. All she does is nod. I pick up all the printed documents I've compiled in the last 72 hours since started escalating and tell the planner to shut up or I'd make sure she'd regretted it. She looks caught the out because of course she knows exactly who I am. I'm the only I think that's supposed to say black, female business owner in my area, and I move different. I'm a local legend, and we all know it. I ask her how I am supposed to be on retainer when I haven't been paid and literally not spoken to her since June. I ask her to prove any one piece of evidence that she tried to contact me or gave me any information that I had been booked. I ask her how she was even still working in this town when she has a track record of dropping the ball, most egregiously with the cancer patient's wedding where she forgot to book the venue. Thanks, hotel venue. I tell her that I will never work with her again, that I will turn away every bride sent by her, no matter what name she goes by, which completely tanks her business in this area since the other guy won't either, and that I am going to give every vendor and bride I come across a warning that she is not fit to keep her own business together, much less theirs. The bride's mouth drops. The planner's mouth drops, and all I do is sit the back to bask in it. The planner looks like she's about to cry as she realizes she's done, forgotten in the oven and burnt to a crisp. I tell her to find the check wherever it is and return it to the bride before the end of the week, or I will use this recorded Zoom chat to help the bride pursue her for damages for her monumental up. We are a one-party state with recordings, and if that was a threat, I could care less. The bride tells her that this conversation isn't done when it finally clicks that she got screwed because this planner couldn't be bothered to do her job and keep it together. It was only 5 checks. She also says that effective immediately, the planner is fired. The planner leaves the Zoom meeting without saying anything else. I ask the bride if she's okay, and she just says that she's been super overwhelmed with her only sister being sick with COVID, which is why 45 to 50 days out, after my last email to her, and she told the planner to just pick something in their style and pay me. The planner told the bride that she'd handled it and just never did. The planner didn't even know that the bride had contacted me last week just to chat because she had gotten excited again. I told her that this is why I don't like wedding planners. Sorry, y'all, because it puts too many cooks in the kitchen. Things get misinterpreted and lost in translation, and that I gave her my info for a reason. She is my client, not her planner. The planner's only job is to keep shit on track, and she did all on that front. The bride apologizes again, tells me that she's going to take the bid and that she will be over to store with cash shortly once she gets herself together, updates her groom, and checks on the other vendors to make sure the entire wedding hadn't just imploded. noon, the bride strolls into my store looking 1,000 pounds lighter. She says that she had been afraid to fire the planner from shortly after hiring her, but was worried about getting charged for no work being done and having to do it all over again. She just fell in too deep, and I can understand that. The bride says that she made very quick calls to everyone just to let them know what had happened and to make sure they were paid. Hallelujah, a f***ing reprieve. I asked the bride what she had said to the planner, and she just chuckled before handing me a gift bag from the best wine shop in town and said, "Everything I needed to. Sorry again, and thank you." What I would have given to be a fly at that moment. She handed me the balance due and then some in cash, waiting while I counted it out, and we chatted about how she would have a story to tell. How I kept a straight face, I'll never know. She asked me if I knew any day of coordinators who I recommended, and I put her in touch with a friend I knew had had a cancellation that day. My friend just texted to thank me for sending her the business. I ended up coming out of the storm, being spotless with a hella tip and a $200 bottle of fantastic wine. The bride is happy and taken care of. My friend got some business out of it, and we got rid of a terrible wedding planner in the process. That could have gone way worse. I have peaked, and now I can't do anything but laugh as I enjoy just a sip of spite wine over my late lunch. This has been the best day ever. I hope y'all enjoy this even a fraction as much as I have. Next update. Bride just forwarded me a text from the planner to her. Apparently, she lost the check and was embarrassed to say for sake, so she was going to try and pay me out of pocket, which makes no sense, and didn't know how to tell the bride. She's found it though, and will take it to the groom's job because she doesn't want to see the bride. I am dead. Last update. I should have asked my mother-in-law about this planner chick from the jump, since she used to be the local florist here. I was telling her about the situation while I was eating and editing this. The planner has been on and off drugs since the 80s. Problem solved. I hope she gets help. Dang, OP, this is insane. I had no idea what a hard time florists get from brides until I heard this. I mean, it makes sense that someone would feel stressed and urgent to throw everything together in this situation like this, but holy moly, this lady is 100% not cut out for the job organizing weddings. It's a really good thing you got rid of her before the wedding turned into an absolute disaster. If drugs are the true culprit, I sincerely hope she is able to find help and get everything back together. Overall, though, good job, OP, for keeping your cool and coming out of this on top. I love that you were able to have your victory in the end with some cash in hand and wine in reserves. You are a brave woman, and I wish you the best in your career and many more victories. I don't think I could put up with a job like this, geez. It's cool, though, that you are carrying on the family tradition after your mother-in-law. Keep up the good work. Thanks for tuning in to The Sire. If you enjoyed today's content, smash that like button. Subscribe for more unique insights. Catch you in the next one.